Here's another way you can save your data set after you've run it. So here I've got a regression model I've created, and I would like to download my scored data set so I can take a look at it and maybe do some analysis in Excel. So I've added my convert to CSV, and I'll go ahead and run this. And we'll come back when it's done running. Okay, here's our completed job. So I've imported the data, edited the metadata. I've converted it to a CSV so we can preview the data. Yeah, and everything looks good. We've got our scored label there. So one way to download this is just through the Access Data and Results dataset. Sometimes that doesn't work the way we want it to. So what we can do instead, let's go ahead and register the data. So we'll register the results dataset. We'll create a new dataset. We'll just call it scored regression data. And then here under data type, instead of file, I'm going to choose tabular. So now I click tabular. It lets me save it. So we'll go ahead and let it save. And now we can go to the data tab over here. And we see we've got our scored regression data in our workplace blob store, or wherever your default data store happens to be. So we click on scored regression data, and like we've done before, we can generate a profile for it. We can see which job it was created. Here we can view the profile once we've generated it. Now if we click on it, for some reason it asks you to provide your credentials again. But then we get here and we can see an information sheet about the data, versions, snapshots. So in some cases, if you have a job that recreates a data set multiple times and you re-register it, you can just re-register the same name and get different versions of it. But in this case, I'll just go ahead and download it. And now what do you want to do with data.csv? Well, we'll save it and I'll just put it in my downloads folder. Save it. And now if I go to open that file, here it is in Excel, and I can do some work with it. All right, so saving a CSV file a different way than we've seen before when we were comparing regression and classification outputs in one of the previous videos.